Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Good morning. Thank you for coming today. My name is Brad Doyle. I'm here to introduce my wife and best friend, Marilyn Mentzer, who was a candidate for Iowa House District 15. A brief bio on Mary Jo. She was born and raised in Missouri Valley, Iowa. She is the daughter of Joe and Marilyn Mentzer, both lifelong Missouri Valley residents. Mary Jo graduated from Missouri Valley High School in 1983. She is a mother of 6 adult children and a grandmother to 3 grandchildren so far. Her life travels have taken her down a few different roads, but those roads ended back in Missouri Valley. I'll let her tell you the rest of the story. Ladies and gentlemen, Mary Jo Mentzer.
I want to welcome everybody for coming. I have been a real estate instructor for the last almost 15 years. So I always like to remind people, please put your phones on vibrate. There will be an opportunity to ask questions, and ask hard questions. This is not softball, this is serious. And if I don't know the answer, it's my job to find the answer and be prepared for the next time someone asks me that question and to get back to you. Okay? That is my goal. I want to thank the Missouri Valley Library staff. They have been amazing and helping me prepare and get ready for this. So if you have opportunity when you're walking out the door, please say thank you to them. They've been very gracious. Come on in. So my campaign is Believe in Better. And this is my dad. And he always told me, you know, you might not have much, but the one thing you have is your word, right? And if you don't have good word, you can't make a difference. So, that is why I started the Believe in Better campaign, because we need politicians that are good for their word. And I don't think of myself as being a politician, but I am a politician. So I hope you can always trust my word. And if you can't, I hope you're brave enough to call me out on it. Okay? If you look, you'll see a card. On the back of the card, it'll tell you what I'm running on. And one of the things I am running on is better health. And we have seen cancer spread all over the United States. How many people in this room know someone with cancer? Yeah, everyone does. It's time to take it serious. When I have spoken to politicians or gone, when you're walking through the pavilion at the Harrison County Fair, I noticed every politician, one of the things they were running on was cancer. Everybody says cancer. I don't care if you're a Democrat, a Republican, no party, whatever you are, they're running on cancer rates. Isn't that correct? But none of us are going to probably cure cancer. I don't expect a politician to cure cancer. But we should be looking for where the cancer is coming from and how to pass legislation to stop the cancer. And that is the #1 issue that I am running on, is better legislation. Iowa's #2 for cancer rates. That's not acceptable. I mean, you look at Iowa, Iowa's supposed to be a wholesome state. That's the way America, I think, perceives Iowa. Cornfields and homegrown pie, homegrown and pie and all-American, Dyersville, with the baseball fields. And we are #2 out of 50 states for cancer rates. Iowa is #1 for new cancers. We are #1 for new cancers. Harrison County is the 5th worst cancer rate. We are #5, 5th worst out of 99 counties. And 56 counties in the state of Iowa have higher rates than the national average. That's not acceptable. That's more than half, 56. That is not acceptable. our governor was doing a better job than that. Nobody's been looking at what we need to do to fix this problem. Harrison County averages 112 people diagnosed with cancer each year. In Harrison County, 33 residents die of cancer each year. So 112 are diagnosed, new diagnoses each year in Harrison County, and 33 deaths from cancer. Top cancers, female breast cancer is the #1 with 19 new cases every year. Second's prostate cancer, third lung cancer, colorectal cancer, and melanoma. That's how they rank, and then there's other cancers behind that. So what makes the cancer rate so high in Harrison County, Iowa? What makes the cancer rate so high?
Whatever we're putting in our ground, whatever.
Our water, what's on our soil, and what's in our air, in our food, what we're ingesting. Those are things that are making our cancer rates high in Iowa. A lot of people have said to me, it's ag, it's all on ag, all the chemicals in ag. I'm not going to deny the chemicals in ag are bad for us. I absolutely agree with that 100%. But there's other things that are affecting us besides ag chemicals, because there's ag clear across the state. And someone from the DNR said, well, Mary Jo, you got the watershed coming off into the Missouri River, and all those chemicals are coming towards us. All the chemicals in the state are not coming to Harrison County, Iowa. Okay? There's watershed clear across the west side and the east side of the state, because the Mississippi River's on one side, the Missouri River's on the other side. Yet we are #5 for high cancer rates. What I believe is causing our cancer rates to be high, and this is one of the things I believe, I'm looking at some other things, is off at Atlas D missile site in Missouri Valley. If you, some people have never heard of it, it's southeast of Missouri Valley, okay? Little history on the site, 1961 to 1964, it was operational. And that was, they had 289 acres there, and I have more maps if you want to see them. If you go on my Facebook page, I have more maps there. In 1971, the site was conveyed to Iowa Western Community College. When I say conveyed, I mean they quitclaim deeded, the Department of Now War quitclaim deeded the site to Iowa Western Community College. What Iowa Western was going to do with the site, I have no idea. I'm assuming the intent was always to sell it. That's just an assumption on my part, so that they could use it to generate income, but I don't know, maybe they were going to use it for another opportunity to put up another set of, school buildings, I don't know. So I know people have asked me that. In 1988, the site structures were demolished. So they didn't demolish the missile-based site structures until 1988. And my understanding is, based on people I've talked to that live here that also work out there, is they just kind of dug big holes and pushed it all in. So any contamination in the buildings is still out there. In 2006, that 289 acres was sold to private investors. 129 acres became residential lots, and that subdivision is called Cottonwood Hills. if you're driving through and you're like, boy, this has been here a while, these lots aren't filling up, it's because some of the lots, the Army Corps and the DNR, my understanding is told them they cannot build on. There is no moratorium in Harrison County, but those lots do have a moratorium on them, meaning you can't build, okay? 180 acres are agriculture, cattle and corn. So we have cattle being raised out there and corn being grown out there for us to consume. The problem with it is, this is the site right here, and I hope everybody can see it. This is the actual missile-based site. This is how far out the contamination is grown and they're testing, okay? Missouri Valley, Iowa is right here. This is Highway 30. They are now testing on the west side of Highway 30. They're testing. Because the water from the TCE is down, or the TCE is down in the water from the aquifer, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And I'll come back to this slide. I want you to understand it. So the red is hot wells, which I'll talk about in a minute. The yellow is wells that have contamination that is breathable, and the green wells have contamination, but lower amounts. So in 2013, they discovered that there was TCE, trichloroethylene, detected in residential wells in 2013. How many of you have lived here since 2013? How many of you knew about the TCE in 2013? In 2013. How many of you knew about the TCE in 2014? 15. 16.
We started here about 18 or 19.
18 or 19.
Yep.
Okay. So, and I'll go back to that slide. There was 143 residential wells tested. Since 2013, there's been 143 residential wells tested. Um, 19 of those wells, I believe, let me get the exact number here, I'm sorry. I don't want to tell you wrong. Yeah, 19 of those wells tested with concentrates greater than 5 micrograms per liter. That means you shouldn't be drinking the water. I'm going to tell you, there's people out there that live out there with a red well who have now, the Army Corps has gone in and put in, like, it's like an osmosis system with a charcoal filter. They're still drinking the water. I would not be drinking the water. I know they're drinking the water because they've told me they're drinking the water. That charcoal filter is not going to make it safe. There are 8 residential wells. These yellow dots represent 8 residential wells with TCE that's below 5, but it's still probably water you should not be drinking. Okay? And the green wells have traces of TCE. This is the exact words, 116 residential wells with TCE concentrates less than laboratory detection limits, but they know there's TCE in some of those wells. I'm trying to get a straight answer on the green wells that are butted up to Missouri Valley, if they had any presence of TCE in them or not. I'm going to tell you, I live 2.7 miles from the closest red well. And I live in the Missouri Valley, Logan country club area. That's pretty close. And I know a couple of you here are my neighbors. So what is TCE? TCE is a volatile organic compound. It's a degreaser that they used at the missile base. And so they would put the missiles up, is my understanding, and take the degreaser and clean out the, I want to say compartment, but I think it's actually a tank, for the missiles. And then they would drain it down into a drain, and that drain would go down in the soil, down underground, and it would just, you know, keep draining down until it hit our aquifer. It is an environmental contaminant, and it does have carcinogens in it, and it does cause cancer. And I've spoken with people out there who have cancer, who are sick, who have brain tumors, who have Parkinson's and other neurological diseases. And nothing's been done, nothing's been said. I want to be clear, I've reached out to the Army Corps, I've had several discussions with them. They've actually came to my home and talked to me. They are there to monitor the situation. They are not the complaint department. The Army Corps is not the complaint department. We can complain to them, but they can't do anything. They have a limited amount of funding that was set aside by the government to monitor the situation. To date, I do not believe there has been any actual cleanup. Okay? The DNR's function in all of this is to help the county and make sure the wells are being tested appropriately. The DNR does have money set aside, and they do give money to Harrison County, Iowa. They give them a $50,000 grant every year. That grant is to be used for well testing. Matt Pitt at the county is who you reach out to get your well tested. I confirmed with them, people can use that money for TCE testing. I know since it's limited funds, they are trying to, they've kind of rolled back a little bit on me, and they've tried now saying, well, it's a case-by-case basis. I am going to tell you, I would stomp my foot. However, if you can't get anywhere to get your water tested for TCE, I personally had our water tested for TCE through the University of Iowa. I'm happy to share that information with you later. It was $51, and my husband can explain the process to you probably better than I can. But I think it's important to have your water tested for TCE. I did ask the DNR about water testing for TCE in Missouri Valley, Iowa. I did call Missouri Valley City Hall, and they put me through to People Services because it is so close to Missouri Valley. It's essentially going north of Missouri Valley. That doesn't give me warm fuzzies that it won't go south at some point, okay? They do not test for TCE annually in Missouri Valley or Logan. I don't like that. They test for TCE, I think it's required every 4 or 5 years. I'd have to double check that, Russ. I'm sure it's something you'd want to know.
Absolutely.
In 2024, I believe, my understanding is from the DNR, they tested twice in Missouri Valley. I think they should continue to test for TCE every 6 months in Missouri Valley until the cleanup has happened. Because, whoops, I'm sorry. It's moving this direction. This is where it started. This is the direction it's going. They're testing here. They're testing there for a reason. They're not testing there, they're not testing, you know, down in here, along Pot County's lines, they're testing up here, north of Missouri Valley. So, I am not a TCE expert, nor do I claim to be a TCE expert, but I have been studying this since I first heard about it at the end of May in 2025. And I've talked and spoken to and listened to a number of experts, some of them as far as from Japan and Germany, all around the world, that have reached out actually to me, as my name's been passed along, concerned about the TCE in Harrison County, Iowa, and why the state of Iowa has did nothing for us. They want to know why it's being kept quiet, why no one has did anything. My understanding is, and it's probably because of me, and I see Jack Summers is here, and Jack has, you want to raise your hand, Jack? Jack has been very involved in the efforts of getting this TCE recognized and something done. Jackson has a background, an environmental background, so he's way smarter on this than I am, okay? And he's helped educate me quite a bit. And he actually took the time to write these people a pretty in-depth letter, and he shared it with the Board of Supervisors. He also shared it with the City of Missouri Valley. Russ, I know you're new to the City of Missouri Valley, but Jackson would be a good person for you to reach out to, because he shared it's got graphs and everything, okay? David Shear, Matt Pitt, and the Harrison County Board of Supervisors, specifically Rebecca Wilkerson, requested a meeting with the Harrison County Board of Health on January 14th, 2026. That is this Wednesday. They have not put it out to the public. I'm telling you about it today because I want you to go and learn. They have invited the Army Corps of Engineers to that meeting. The meeting will start at 6 o'clock. The meeting will first start out with the Harrison County Board of Supervisors. They're going to do their business, and then they're going to turn it over to Scott Sawyer, who is with the Army Corps, and he is going to speak on the TCE. It has been confirmed to me that a gentleman named Matt Gesh from the Iowa DNR will also be present, but he has not been asked to speak. But he is a wealth of information, and I think Matt Gesh from the DNR has been working on this for I think almost 10 years, based on conversations with him. He is a true expert on what is happening in Harrison County. Harrison County is his baby. Okay? So please, if you can make it to this meeting, go. I would love to see all of the Missouri Valley City Council there, if that's at all possible. I think it's very important. The next thing I'm running on is better economy. Okay? We have it's a nationwide problem, the economy. It's not unique to Harrison County, Iowa. I wish it was. I wish it was, but it is not. A good friend of mine, Dawn Blackford, shared with me ALICE. How many people here knew about ALICE? ALICE is an acronym for Asset Limited Income Constrained. Employed households that earn more than the federal poverty level, but less than the basic cost of living for the country. Okay? How many people here knew of ALICE? I didn't know of ALICE till they shared it. You knew of ALICE? I did not know of ALICE. Some facts about ALICE is our population in Harrison County is 14,623. My district goes, it's all Harrison County, and it goes down into Pottawatomie County. I have about the same number of people I represent in Pottawatomie County, the sliver that goes down to Mills County. We have in Harrison County 5,963 households, and our medium household income is around $75,000. Our medium household income. I think that's pretty generous, but for a two-family family, that tells me if you divided it by 2, each person that's working would probably be earning around $30,000 to $40,000. It's tough to make ends meet on $30,000 and $40,000. Our average in Harrison County is 25%. State average is 26%. I don't think that's a great reflection on the state of Iowa. And households in poverty is 9%. And the state average is 11%. So one of the things that is affecting our economy in Missouri Valley and Harrison County in District 15 is our property taxes. And I'm in Harrison County today, so I'm going to talk about Harrison County property taxes because they make me grouchy. Okay? Harrison County taxes are increasing 8.5% faster than the combined growth of population and inflation. So what they do to decide if it's a reasonable property tax rate is they take the population and add it to the inflation, which tells us that our property tax rate, reasonable tax rate is 37.7%. That's what the state is saying. Okay? I am going to tell you, I think that's BS. Because Iowa code says that our taxes are to be taxed at 100% value, not 137.7% value or almost 150% value. So when I go and I talk to the Board of Supervisors or the Harrison County Assessor about property taxes, this is what they're explaining to me. They're telling me our property taxes are in line. Our property taxes are not in line with Iowa code. Iowa code says 100%, as determined between a buyer and a seller. And there should be a limited growth rate on that amount. So I do not agree with Alice. I do not agree with being taxed at almost 150% in Harrison County, Iowa.
I think, real quick, she said Harrison County at like 131, 132%.
135.
135, yeah.
And that's why, that's what she's saying. But as I'm doing math and my background's real estate, it's a little higher than that. I know there's people in the area that live in the TCE area, the contamination area, where their property values are falling. They're having a hard time selling their home. And one couple purchased their home in 2019 for $499,000 in 2019. In 2025, their taxes were over $900,000, assessed value. I shouldn't say taxes. Their assessed value was over $900,000. The Harrison County Auditor, in her information that she sent me, which is this, I have both the 2025 assessed appraisal report, and the first report was done in 2021. And this is what she says. I asked if they were in compliance. It says right here in her report. With our 2024 median ratio being less than 95%, our total value was of compliance with the code section 44.47. The total value needs to be between 95% valuation and 105% valuation. When you are going from $499,000 purchase price to an over $900,000 assessed valuation, that is higher than 95 to 105%. 95% would be lower than 499,000. 99% of your value would be lower than 499,000 in a $499,000 home. That was the first thing I found wrong with her report. I found multiple things, but I will read you this. If I can find it. I'm not going to take the time to go through here, but what she says is there's no contamination in Harrison County, Iowa. In this report that she has signed, she is stating there is no contamination in Harrison County, Iowa. Okay?
Looks like I'm waiting for falsely signing that.
Yeah.
We're working on that.
Yeah.
Apparently she didn't do any research of her own.
Well, I don't understand why our Board of Supervisors, and I'm just going to call them out on it, our Board of Supervisors see these reports
And let them go.
and let them go.
Yeah.
Because you want to know why? They don't read them. They don't read them. Some of the people that are currently running are talking about in the state of Iowa, we need to raise minimum wage. I am going to tell you, I think less government on that. I am not a minimum wage person. What I am is an opportunity person. And for people that want to get out there and work, we have a lot of opportunities. So why are the consumers essentially paying for the minimum wage hike? And why are the taxpayers paying for grants and fillers for people's income? We have opportunities and we have labor issues that need to be addressed. One of the things I'm very upset with Mr. Winchittle about is the fact that he is from Missouri Valley, Iowa. He has been lead speaker of the House for the state of Iowa. In addition, he has acknowledged we live on an interstate highway exchange, which is rare, which should be taken advantage of. And do we have Amazon here? Do we have Google here? Somebody said to me, well, you have the floodplain. I am going to tell you, if you drive south into Mills County and you see where they put Google, you will see it is in the floodplain. And so is the power station. So, when are we going to get these opportunities here? Because we have people in Harrison County that need jobs. And right now, the majority of people that live here have to drive someplace else. Or move. We need a better lifestyle here in Harrison County. And part of that is better health and better economy. Some of it we have to be accountable for and take care of ourselves. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We can't blame politicians for everything. Okay, it'd be great if we could. We need to make sure we're getting more sleep, social support. There's services out there. If you have a problem and you need something, reach out to me. I will try to be the resource for you to improve your life. If nothing else, I can listen to you complain. Okay? Stress management. We have a lot of stress. We have people without jobs, without food, and are not sure if they're going to have a roof on their head. Can you imagine the stress in that? We have an older demographic in this county, in Harrison County, who are paying high property taxes at almost 150% that want to stay in their home. If they don't stay in their home, do you think they can afford to move into a nursing home? Do you think, how packed is Cullivan Heights and Kovar Court here in Missouri Valley, Iowa? They're always busy. We do not have enough resources. If you don't think that doesn't cause them stress, we need change there. Exercise, I can use more exercise. And nutrition, nutrition is more than just eating the right foods. It's eating healthy foods. And I'm going to tell you, since I've learned about TCE, I'm really picky where I get my food. I used to not be that picky, but I want to know where people live before I buy food. And I'm an advocate for farmers markets. And risky behaviors. Reynolds' office is saying, and I'm picking on Reynolds today because she needs picked on.
She does.
She's saying the #1 cause of cancer is alcohol in the state of Iowa. I don't believe that. And I invite Governor Reynolds to come to Harrison County, Iowa. I invite her today and to sit down with me and talk about what is going on southeast of Missouri Valley, Iowa. I don't know, when was the last time she was to Harrison County, Iowa?
I don't know, during the flood.
During the flood she came? Okay.
I think.
She drove through or flew over probably.
No, I think I thought she was actually here.
Was she?
Oh, well,
I mean, I could be wrong.
She wasn't there very long.
No, they never are.
no.
They smile, wave, take a picture, and say,
Yeah.
thank you, see you.
Yeah.
Photo op.
I agree with that. So I want better representation. That's why I'm running. I had made the decision to run on 2 things. One, Matt Winchell's not doing his job. I hate it that he's running for Congress. Hate it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to stand up here and not say his name because he needs to be held accountable.
Yeah.
We've had better people run against Matt Winchell and lose because of herd mentality, because of people going straight down the ticket and voting Republican, 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 Republican.
And also, we gotta remember possible voter fraud going on.
And we have some other things going on. So right now I want you to stand up. You can stand up and sit down and stand up
It's for exercise.
and sit down
That might just.
Yeah.
and touch your nose.
Which hand, doesn't matter.
I don't care. And right there, I've told you how to vote. That's how easy it is to tell people how to vote. I don't want you to vote for me because you think I'm a nice person, because you like me. Maybe you're voting against me because you don't like me or you think I'm a bad person. I want you to vote for me because you think I can do the job. That is why you should vote for anybody. Because you think they can do the job. Because you think they've gone and did research, they know the facts, and they want to do a better job than what is currently being done. This is legislation that passed, and I have quite a bit of legislation that's passed, but I wasn't going to share it all with you today, obviously, between 2017 and 2014. So they lowered child care workers' ages, but they increased the number of kids they can care for per person. Okay, that legislation was passed.
That makes no sense.
The actual age they lowered it to is 16. Okay? The asbestos exposure cases, this bill made it more difficult for families to sue who is responsible for asbestos. Asbestos causes what? Melanoma, cancer, right. So you get sick from asbestos, Iowa House is making it harder for you to go after that person.
Oh,
That's what we voted for, folks. This is a big one, and we have a tendency, we all want to put COVID-19 behind us. We all want to forget about COVID-19. Our House voted to relieve liability for businesses. That includes health care for treatments and practices that made you sick
yeah.
during COVID-19. I need some of you to stand up with me. I need some of you to run to fight against these things. I need you to run for your city councils. I need you to run for your board of supervisors. We need a new auditor. The auditor oversees everything happening in the courthouse. I need you to run against me if you don't believe in what I'm saying or doing. Because it's not too late. You have plenty of time to file papers. Call me and I will tell you how to file papers. We need people to run for Congress from this area. That's the only way the problems in District 15 are going to get solved. We need people to run for governor, for Senate. We need to get involved. If you know somebody out there that's continually complaining, tell them to get involved. Tell them to call me. Tell them to come to listen to me speak. I'll be speaking again in Logan on the 24th. This is the first time I've spoke, so I'm only going to get better. Right? So I need you to step up with me, not just for me. I believe we can have better health. I truly believe we can have a better economy and a better lifestyle with better representation. We have to have better representation. So my commitment to you is to return emails, text, and phone calls within 24 hours unless something major happens in my life. But I've always said 24 hours, even when I worked in the real estate industry for 25 years. I really believe in getting back to people within 24 hours. I don't think that's asking too much of anybody unless there's a crisis. I want to have coffee and conversations with you on a regular basis, even after I'm elected. I will commit right now, and I'm being recorded by a few different individuals. I think there's 3 recorders going on right now. I will commit to coming back on the weekends from Des Moines and meeting with you and talking about what legislation is being discussed, because if you don't know, you can't tell me how you think I should vote. I don't need PACs to tell me.
right.
I am not representing PACs. I'm representing District 15. And that is what has happened to District 15 for many years. There should be meet and greets and coffees on a regular basis in District 15, Pottawatomie County and Harrison County. Residents need to know what kind of legislation is coming down the pike and what kind of legislation has been passed. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And hopefully we have some wins in there. We have to have some wins. If we don't start having some wins, our health, our economy, and our lifestyle are not going to improve. And I make a commitment to make sure to remember there's no place like home. And I think that happens with a lot of politicians. I saw Carrie Lake they think she's gonna run for something. She just bought a condo in Dubuque, Iowa,
Yeah,
Davenport, okay?
That's where she's from.
That's where she's from, but she went to Arizona, so
Well,
now
she's
she's
been
back
all
in
over,
Iowa,
but she's
okay.
moving back.
So we'll see what happens.
Hope she runs for governor.
So, I don't know her enough about her, but
I
I
just hope she
guarantee I'll
does.
go.
I just hope she does.
I will be there to listen to her.
You're gonna listen and find out
Because
what they're.
I don't like, I'm just gonna say it, carpet bagging, flip-flopping. I wanna make sure they're really for Iowa. We really need them to be for District 15. So questions? Any questions?
I do.
Okay, Dawn?
I want to ask everybody in this room, I've been here since '98. When was the last time you ever had a candidate like Mary Jo come in with facts and not afraid to speak to people? I can't remember.
Yeah,
No, honestly, I can't
no, I
remember.
agree, I agree.
Well, maybe I'm starting a new trend, Dawn.
You are, I think you are. I'm enjoying it.
Maybe PowerPoint presentations with facts would be a benefit to the public and to the candidate, because then you know that they did some research. And if you saw the piles on my office floor, my husband would really like it if I would clean them up, because I have them stacked TCE, I have them stacked agriculture, because our ag people need some support right
Yeah.
now. Ag's really struggling.
Well, you didn't say anything that wasn't true, because, not just because I know you, it's because I've been to the same meetings, the Corps, the Army Corps of Engineer. What you said is exactly, there is no cleanup going on this, but
No, they do have 3 experiments going on,
Right.
just to clarify. They do
Yeah.
have 3 experiments going on, and I'm sure they'll be talking about that more on the 14th.
But that is a hot topic, and I feel personally, the Board of Health here in Harrison County is not taking this seriously.
No,
They are not, supervisors are not, and everybody in the courthouse, they just wanna, we don't see anything. Why is that? It's affecting all of our health.
Because
There's
if our
people with
property
cancer going.
valuation goes down, they
Exactly.
lose money. I do wanna talk about the legislation piece. It takes years for legislation to actually pass. So in the meantime, we have Matt Pitt that approves well digs against DNR recommendations. We have, potential new residential areas that are being built, and then we have an auditor saying there's no, or an assessor saying there's no TCE in Harrison County. So because there's no legislation, and the Board of Supervisors and Board of Health refuse to acknowledge and do what they're supposed to do, the site continues to
Evolve.
expand. And
And-
we know,
I would
without
like that.
legislation, they are not gonna do what they're supposed to do. We have one aquifer, and it's shallow. So we're already have all these issues. So between now and legislation actually being passed to do something, we all get TCE. We all
Well,
have it in our water.
my understanding is there's more than one aquifer in this area.
Well, yeah, Missouri Valley has one aquifer, and,
There's one up north,
Yeah,
it comes down our way.
yeah.
but you know, Colgan does the cleanup for the TCE. The Colgan is in Missouri Valley,
You
and
can explain that? Go ahead.
I don't wanna explain that.
I will.
But you know what, I've got my meeting at noon, they'll be chilly, I'll explain it there.
Yeah, yeah, no, you don't. So, there is some questions about, so I'm gonna talk real quick, because this is new information to me. Through an expert, that has reached out to me. First of all, Army Corps came in here with a very limited budget, given to them by the Department of Now War, okay? It was just, my understanding is a little over $1 million, which sounds like a lot, but look at all the wells they tested. And all those wells, not all of them, but the majority of them that are green even, have a special water filtration system on it with a charcoal filter. Okay? Jack, you have one of those?
No.
No,
we don't-
you
we
do
don't
not.
have one on
You
ours.
don't.
But it
Okay.
is interesting to note, though, that the numbers of those wells are actually would be a lot higher, or higher to a degree anyway, because some people refuse the Army to test them.
Yeah,
So there's
yeah.
a lot of untested wells out there.
But that's not
Within that
those
area.
wells, those are the tested wells there.
Right, I'm just saying that number would be larger.
So the population's denser in that area, good point, thank you. There's more people that will not give the Army Corps the right of way to test their wells.
Yeah,
Okay.
The DNR called me and they said that they won't go, see, I'm right at the very tip, you're kind of south of me.
Yeah,
But anyway, they said that they'll only go and get that,
I live right over
Yeah.
here by the testing site.
and they said they'll only get those tests out to like a 2-mile radius, is what I was told.
Okay, so that's the water testing.
Yeah.
So the actual wells, if you let them test and you have a red test well or a yellow test well, you probably have, it's not osmosis, but it's like osmosis, is my understanding, with charcoal filter on it. And so every couple of months, they come to your house, they switch out the charcoal filters, they take the charcoal filters, and they clean them out someplace.
Send them to India,
No,
No,
probably. No, what?
no.
we don't know, I don't know, but I think somebody, Lori, do you know what they're doing with them right now?
My understanding is they're bringing it here to Mo Valley to Colgan, and the expectation that I would have is that they're following very, very strict procedures. My hope is that they're not just draining it off right into the
Okay.
water.
Right into the
But
sewer.
keep in mind, we can't even get any answers from Colligan. The
Oh,
guy-
I know,
we
I
can't
mean,
get
I
any-
know, we can't
Yeah,
get
it's
answers
all
can't
from
top
get
the
answers
secret,
from
yeah, it's
anybody.
top secret.
So they're taking the filters, what are they doing?
Yeah.
If you read up on the proper procedure, it's very
Yeah,
intense,
they
and
should
what
be,
you have to
they
do with
should
those
be
filters.
manifesting the
Yes,
control of those.
so if you're just washing it down the sink in Missouri Valley, well, guess
Well, how
what?
much money are you getting from funding? So you're getting paid well.
So,
Exactly.
yeah, so we've gotta find out, we don't know.
No,
We don't know. But what I have found out, and I found out it was, right, like, I think it was the day 24th of December. I'm pretty sure is the day I got the email from a gentleman that has a company in Germany and Japan. And he was referred to me by, this group of experts that's been reaching out to me regarding the TCE. And he said to me, when was the last time those systems were upgraded? I never thought about that, because technology has changed significantly from 2014 to 2026. The other thing is, he has a new kind of system, which was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. He has a new kind of system. He does have a company that does water filtration systems, and they use, my understanding is, some kind of electric current, but I need to do a little more reading. Why was that interesting to me? Because that is one of the tests the Army Corps is currently using to try to remove the TCE out of the aquifers through electric current. So it's so expensive for them to do it. Why isn't the Department of War helping these people get a better system, and a system like that that we know will remove the TCE out of the water and purify it? The other problem we have with wells is there has been zippo money given for agriculture. There is no money being given to agriculture. So people are raising cattle, raising corn, raising soybeans, raising farmer market, have chickens, chicken barns. In that area, it's going all over the region, maybe further, and there's been no testing for the TCE. And this is what I get from the county. We test to Iowa code. So legislation needs to be changed. If there is a contaminant in your area, in your county, a known contaminant, then your testing should not just be nitrates. It should not just be, oh gosh, I got it. E. coli and asbestos. You should automatically, in your county, now that we have an extra $50,000 that we're getting in grant money, be tested for TCE. Would you agree with that?
Well, we're getting that every year, right?
Yep.
For 50,000.
My understanding is that, but I need to double check that.
That doesn't even seem like enough, though.
Well,
Well, it's not all being used, I know that.
50,000 at $51.
Because
a piece.
he's still charging
Do
for
1,000
test.
wells, right?
Correct.
Harrison County still charged for test. They don't do every test for free in the county, even though they have this grant money. I was given information by the state of Iowa through one of their environmental departments, at the beginning of December, that there's water grant money for wells, water grant money for testing,
Actually, this is getting that.
water grant money for if you need your well shocked. If you need it chlorinated and shocked, there's money for it, free money. And Matt Pitt knows about this.
So why isn't he telling anybody about this, or letting people know? I mean, right there, that's.
Well, you need to ask the board of supervisors because they just appointed him for another year.
No.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I was there. Of course,
You
They
can go
just
ask him,
appointed
and what
him.
he'll do is smirk at you and put his glasses on top of his head and roll his eyes at you like
Yeah.
you're a
No, you
fool.
won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't wanna pick on Matt Pitt, but that is a fact. This is a fact. There is grant money, and we need to, as a county, hold our elected officials responsible to start sharing that information, shouting it out, putting it in the Missouri Valley Times Reporter, Harrison County Times Reporter, whatever they've rebranded themselves as.
Write a letter to the editor.
Write a letter to the editor. But it's all 3 board of supervisors.
Yes.
It's not just 2.
That's right.
There's 3 supervisors that we elected. They've all been in office for a significant amount of time.
At least a year.
They need to be held accountable. Every one of them.
And why is there only 3 for this, why? I mean, shouldn't there be,
They've talked about changing it to 4,
5.
or excuse me, 5, I'm sorry. Thank you for
and
correcting
it
me.
should be, I think.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet. It starts by petition, is my understanding from the public. See, we have the power.
So
We have the power.
So we
Well,
can start.
they think it's the other way
We
around.
sorta have the.
But here's the other problem.
Because
Yeah, I know, I get it.
it's like,
That's why I'm
no,
ready.
we don't.
Here's the other problem. We need, I haven't heard of anybody that's actually filled out their paperwork. I've heard of people that's gotten paperwork for the board of supervisors. You need to tell people to run for board of supervisors. You have to get people to run for board of supervisors. We need some people from this area because right now, all of our board of supervisors is from one little pocket of the county. And everybody is like, how come all of that money goes there? It's because they have representation. Representation is important. Okay? And I believe anybody can win. I believe it's anybody's race because people are wanting some change. And any other questions?
Well, the reason I say we don't have any power, or very little power, we can't get them to have a night meeting. I've been told by 2 of the 3 people on the board, there will never be a night meeting as long as I'm on this board.
I've been fighting that for a long time, yeah.
So they need to not be on the board of
Exactly, that was my
supervisors.
point. And
Well,
I-
because
and I've
they-
called them multiple times on the phone, I've talked to them face to face, I've.
Called them out.
They don't want anybody else out there.
No, they
because
don't want
settle
any,
down.
but that's why they have it in that cramped little tiny room in the corner with a great big shelf in the middle of it so nobody can see and they can hide. And they don't wanna put it on the internet, they don't wanna do anything. I mean,
Well,
thankfully,
yeah.
you guys are finally videotaping and putting it out there. Before you guys came,
Yeah.
you couldn't get any information from that bunch for
yeah,
nothing.
we do not, I wanna clarify, what we're posting out on the internet for the board of supervisors meeting is the board of supervisors
Yes,
meeting.
it's the meeting,
We are not editing
Right.
it at all.
like the other people
It
did,
is, yes,
who
there's
were
no
angry
editing.
because someone got
Yeah.
on the board that they didn't like.
So I wanna ask you real quick, How many of you have gone and listened? I've been listening to both Democrats and Republicans. I've been attending both Democrat and Republican events. I know they cringe a little when I show up, but I want to hear what the issues are. And I'm tired of elevator speeches.
Well, I got one thing, you know, because Donald Trump just put a post out 2 days ago. He wants to cap interest rates for a year on credit cards to 10%. But did you know that the state of Iowa, as a legislature, can set what the interest rate is in the state?
Imagine that.
Right.
And they will not do it. I talked to them multiple times.
I didn't, but would you send me that piece of legislation or send me that
Oh, you just have
information?
to look it up, it's in the code.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Interest
But it-
rates Iowa,
Oh.
Google.
Yeah, you get to actually
Did
set.
you guys know that? Did anybody else know that?
No,
That's
I
why
knew he was
when
gonna
you
try
look
to
at
do
the
the
small
10%,
print-
but I didn't know that.
Small print on the back of the credit card information, you'll see in the fine print, you'll see Wisconsin, certain percent. Arkansas, certain percent. Some, like 3 or 4 states out of all 50, have set the interest rate. Everybody else pays 40%.
What does that tell you?
Means we're getting screwed.
Well, and our governor, and they're not doing justice for us, they don't.
And by, real quick, you brought up the Board of Health meeting coming up.
Right.
Keep in mind, I want everybody to know that they're talking about not letting anybody speak up at that meeting. They don't want it, they don't want your opinion. This is an open public meeting. We have a right, we are the taxpayers, they work for us. It's not, they all think at the courthouse it's the other way around.
Yeah, well,
They
that's
do,
the same
they
way in
think
our
that.
town.
So
Call them out,
I will say this. We need people to show up
yeah.
and listen and learn. It is an informational meeting for the Board of Health. They've never had one before.
No.
I know that, I was told by David Shear that I could not ask questions and I could not tape.
What is,
So,
Which is not true.
but it is a public meeting, so I will say, I don't know if that was exclusively for my benefit,
What was this
because I'm
reason?
running for office. He said it is, he told me it was Army Corps, but I received another email that the Board of Health put a moratorium on questions. I have that in black and white.
You have every right to record. You, every
Yeah,
right.
'cause it's an
They
open
cannot stop you. from
So
doing that. They can't.
I'm sorry, I can't tell you what's gonna happen if you try to walk in with a recorder.
They're gonna
You
have
do
a
have the
sheriff
right
deputy there.
because of Iowa code.
Yeah.
I am aware you do have
Okay.
the right because of Iowa
You do.
code. But, I don't know if they'll let you in the meeting.
My suggestion would be, you call the sheriff before the meeting.
The sheriff's
like,
gonna be at the meeting.
Is he gonna be there?
I don't know, I know
No, but
there's
I
gonna
mean,
be law
Call
enforcement
him
there.
ahead of time and say, exactly what is your,
Or I've been told.
What is your
there's law
policy?
enforcement there.
in regarding to open meetings? Ask the sheriff, because he's the one who's going to have to enforce it. Logan doesn't have a police force, the sheriff is the police.
Yeah, I don't,
constitutionally, they
I
cannot do that.
Well, I
We
know,
were
but
told
you
that.
have to,
Well, we talked to the sheriff about Pisgah,
but you're smart if you
and that's what he told us.
Don't wait until you get to the meeting to find out. Call him ahead of time and
Yeah.
find out exactly from
the
him
sheriff's,
what his policy is, and then say, okay, this is what I want to do,
Right,
and let him know.
and that's what we did.
And
So-
that way,
Yeah.
he's not gonna be hauling you off in handcuffs.
so the sheriff's department has started coming to the Board of Supervisors meetings.
Yes, I know, I've seen them.
And, I don't know if there's a real threat, but I understand why they're there. I mean, I get it, somebody apparently doesn't feel safe.
We had,
But,
we had.
The auditor. I'll
We
call
did,
her.
yes, we did a hand count, recount of the ballots back when Rebecca ran against Matt. The auditor at the time, is not the auditor now, but was the auditor then, was so nervous that she had, I mean, there's only 3 of us in the room. She brought a sheriff's deputy to stand guard outside the door. Like anybody even cares, we're counting ballots.
Well, you know, you don't know. I mean, the world
Well,
has gotten crazy.
It wasn't
get
that
it.
crazy.
I think
That's
I think the
insanity.
problem is, if you're doing the right thing as an elected official,
Then you should.
whether it's the Board of Supervisors meeting or not, and you're letting people speak, I mean, you're always gonna have those, I don't know, I'm gonna ask you, Russ, do you have a police officer present at all the hearings?
Usually chief of police is,
Okay, is he there listening, or is he there to protect people?
well, both, I would imagine.
Okay.
That's his position.
So I think in today's society, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, but I'm just gonna tell you the mentality. I think in today's society, they've started feeling like, especially elected officials, feel like they need protection.
Well, and Mary Jo, not to get off the subject, but even in Pisgah, we go to a meeting, a council meeting, and it's 5 minutes and it's over, because they don't want any of us there knowing
They don't
what's
want
going on.
participation.
Yeah.
I know the Board of Supervisors has really discouraged people from putting things on the agenda because they don't wanna hear from the taxpayers in Harrison County, Iowa.
And what's the point of
And
them
so
even
now you
doing that?
get 3 minutes, and my understanding is, based on
3
what,
minutes on one subject.
on one subject, yeah. So, we need people to run for the Board of Supervisors. I started out, I was gonna run for the Board of Supervisors. I decided to run because I wanted to see legislation to change, okay?
Well, I'm actually gonna run.
I think Brad should.
You're gonna run for the Board of Supervisors?
Yeah, but I am not running in a primary.
Got too many
You're
I
gonna run-
refuse.
Thank you.
So you're gonna run
I'm gonna run
independent?
independent and run on the general, because there's too many people in this county that vote independent and they will not join a party, so then you don't actually get a fair shot in a primary.
This is what I was told about Harrison County voters. Republican is the #1 vote, independent, no party is #2 vote.
Yes.
They are.
Democrat is #3.
I tell you what, I won't vote for either party. I mean, I'll be independent or no party. I'm not gonna.
Cause I have friends,
I
when I
don't-
ran for auditor, and when I ran, I had friends that told me, well, if you make it out of the primary, we'll vote for you, but we hate the parties so much, we will not re-register into the party so that we can vote for you. We
Well,
like
I'm
you, but
running
we
no
don't like
party,
you.
Lynn, so vote
I
for
know.
me.
I'm just saying, that's some of the
Yeah.
mentality
Yeah.
of the people, so primaries are basically
So-
worthless now.
Yeah, it's a popularity contest.
It is, that's
It is.
exactly
It's
what it is.
unfortunately, but, like I said, herd mentality, up and down, touch your nose. And, I want people, and some people do educate themselves. You know, I don't wanna put everybody into that category, but a lot of people, and I have did this, I'm guilty of it. I've gone in and said, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, cause I've been both. I finally decided I better just be no party, okay? And, I have voted ticket,
No, I never do that.
okay? Then as I got older, I started realizing that wasn't the way to vote. So you have to understand, some of this is maturity in the system. Now I'm no party, because I wasn't happy with either party. And I started learning you gotta find out what people are really running for. This is what I tell my real estate students. Watch CNN, watch Fox News, the facts are somewhere in the middle. But if you're just watching one thing and listening to one thing, you are gonna get herd mentality. I don't care, you can't convince me otherwise. You have to educate yourself on both sides. If for one reason, is so you understand how other people think. Because we can't solve any of these problems until we know how other people think. It's very important, but I've taken up enough of your time today. If you don't have any more questions, thank you for coming. Lori's got an event that's going to be starting at 11 o'clock, Lori? Noon?
It's 11:30 now.
Okay, it's 11:30 now, and I think she is gonna have chili, so if you wanna sit around and talk, you're welcome to stay and talk. I'll be here until noon when her event starts to answer questions. And the last thing I need to do before you leave, and I'm horrible at it, and I never got to that slide, so because I was so excited to talk, was things I need from you today. is if you have the opportunity to host a meet and greet for me, so I can get to know some of your neighbors or people you work with or whatever, I truly would appreciate that. If you would like a yard sign or to help with door knocking, I have a sign-up sheet back there. You can follow me on Facebook or social media. You can share my Facebook post. You can take pictures of me today. You can record me today, and you can send it to Gutfield. Okay?
There you go.
I'm good with that. I do need financial contributions to run. If you want to contribute to my campaign, talk to that guy right there, or you can reach out to me directly. And call me, text me, email me with your thoughts and suggestions or things I need to know about to improve. Because I am serious about winning this election. But I can't do it without you. You have to use your voice, okay? So thank you very much. I appreciate it. This is my contact information. And thanks for the good conversations. This is the first time I did this, so it was kind of good to hear people visit.
Very good.
Thank you.
I do want to say real quickly, again, thanks for coming today. She is crossing party lines. I've had a couple conversations this last week. There's going to be some announcements coming for support for Mary Jo.
Yeah.
So, official endorsements
Right.
that are forthcoming.
You must be
So,
doing something right.
yeah, and again, it's crossing party lines.
One of them is called door knocking. The last one that did door knocking won, and she's on board of
Thank you.
supervisor.
Here's
People do
a
like it.
wonderful librarian. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
You're always welcome.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I wouldn't.
I'm sick
I
of
would
it.
not sign that.
Thank you.
I think that's.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank you very much.
If we need more